Hello and welcome to Spill the Beans, an exciting new indie game demo that's releasing on the 10th of June. I was lucky enough to receive an early access code from the developer, and I'm looking forward to trying it out. If you haven't heard of it, Spill the Beans is a reverse detective visual novel where you steal a secret recipe and have to convince everyone but someone else did it. From what little I've seen so far, this looks like a super fun and intriguing game with interesting characters and beautiful art style. And I love a good mystery, even a backwards one. If you enjoy visual novels, I'll leave a link in the description so you can add this to your wishlist. For now, thanks to Skeletal Games for the early access code, and let's hop right in. Content warnings. These content warnings are only for the demo and may be updated for the full game, crude language, and implied drug use. Spill the Beans, and new game. You've done it. Against all odds, you've managed to pull off the heist. Your shaking outstretched hands grab the cafe's secret recipe. As its power pulses through your body, your heart aches, your breath flutters, mere echoes of what was taken from you, what will soon be yours again. But at this crucial moment, you can't help but think of the other people in this cafe, the ones you're about to drag into a complicated criminal mess. You can only blame the scroll's influence for such inconvenient sympathies. If they were in your position, they'd do the same, wouldn't they? They'd know that, after everything you'd been through, this was the only option left. People say that Artifice County is the most magical place there is. Yes, Artifice, where, 100 years ago, the world of spirits cracked the earth and spilled over into ours. Ooh, interesting. But now those spirits work 9 to 5s. Arcane power fuels cars and charges phones. This county, once the cradle of magic, has become as mundane as any other. And an unmagical human like yourself, among shape-shifting sirens, carbon fiber constructs, and wizards, you're exceptional. Exceptionally dull and exceptionally underestimated. No matter how much you tried to fit in, to love this place in all its wonders, it never reciprocated. All it did was take, all it left you with was emptiness. So why not take something back? Steal everything the county denied from you, feel that gnawing emptiness, then leave it behind forever. Luckily you know what you need and exactly where to find it. The Familiar. A downtown cafe, noteworthy only for its secret recipe, locked tight in a back room. And conveniently enough, they're hiring. So desperately that they aren't asking for experience or background checks. That's never a good idea. All that's left is to put together an application. Not that anything you say on it really matters. It rarely does. As an aside, since I'm currently going through job searching and applications, I feel that last sentence. Not that anything you say on it really matters. That's a mood that is... Self-affirmation exercise. How do people see you? Try to be honest. My name is Nimgrim, because it rhymes. Oh, her? She's always sitting by herself. That is true. That's very true. Her face is hard to read, but that smile of hers is unique. She sure is a mystery. So, I am a forthright learner who loves destroying my enemies, and my soft skills are good listener, probable minion, and surprisingly okay snack fetcher. There aren't many customization options, but it is fun to see which hair colours you can do. I could do purple. I'm gonna go purple. I don't usually go purple. I don't dye my hair anyway, but yeah, I shall live vicariously through this picture. And we are done. A few days later, you're face to face with the Familiar. While its neighbours are all dust and drywall, its facade seems unbroken, even if a varnish is peeling at the edges. Is it facade or facade? I think it's facade, isn't it? For a moment, nothing. Then you spot a silhouette in the window who flicks its neon sign to open before waving you over. You cross the street, repeating the details of your plan. You need to get in, get out, and, For the smoothest possible getaway, try to find someone else to take the blame. But can you really do all those things without running into any complications? I doubt it. You've already reached the front door, you can hardly turn back now. The cafe laid bare before you is almost indistinguishable from the scant images you found online. Mismatched chairs and royalty-free wall art, well kept but worn down. There are cat pictures. You don't get long to take it all in. A construct towering over 2 meters tall stops wiping down the counter and turns to greet you. Ah, you must be Nim. Great to finally meet you. Sorry, terribly rude of me to not meet you at the door. As she strides over, you realise how old her vessel must be to have no custom limbs or decals, just worn grey stone, flowering moss, and that tiny blue bird nested on her shoulder. I'm Sloane, from the emails. Lovely to have you on board. Did you get here all right? I saw your address was uptown, and I know we're a wee bit out of the way. Before you get a chance to reply, she's already yanked you into a crushing two-handed shake. For a moment you worry that she might have pulled your arm from its socket. Actually, I shouldn't get chatting just yet. Today's schedule is pretty packed, what with your induction, and I barely found time to fix breakfast for Atom. Oh, hang on. This is Atom. Atom, say hello to Nim. She's your new co-worker, so be polite. I like the bird. Atom's usually my only company out front, so it'll be nice to have you too. I mean, I love this job, I really do. But after 6 years of working the floor by myself, starting at 5 every day. Not that you have to come in that early, of course. We're only meant to start at 8, but it pays off. It does. As Sloane trails off, you have a chance to put your plan in motion. You've spent a long time figuring out other people's so-called feelings and just how easy they are to manipulate. If someone's in a good mood, they'll probably think better of you and suspect you less. Then again, if you make someone upset, they might make for an easier scapegoat under pressure. But what's best for Sloane? Better make that first impression count. Oh, I've worried you with that 5 AM thing, haven't I? Not gonna lie, you kinda did. Yeah, 5 AM sounds like a nightmare. Just want to stress that you don't have to do that, honest. That depends. Are you paid for those extra hours? Or those extra hours must be worth it, this place is spotless. Decrease Sloane's mood to make her more prone to breaking under pressure. Increase Sloane's mood to make her a more amenable ally. Is that how you say her name? Sloane? Or is it Sloane? I think it's Sloane. I shall go for this one. I like the little face. Oh, that's sweet of you. I try to bring the best out of the old familiar. Good to know other people actually notice. She looks so happy. The lights flicker overhead before Sloane can finish her sentence. Oh, sorry, I thought that was fixed. Should call the electromancer once I get a free moment. You sound overworked. Anyway, packed schedule. I've got pastries in the oven, then a delivery after. Come on, let's get you in uniform. If we're quick, I can show you how our recipe works before any customers arrive. Well, she looks happy, I suppose. Maybe slightly overworked, though. Sloane strides through the doorway behind the counter, beckoning you into the kitchen beyond. It takes 3 steps to match just one of hers. The kitchen, built from cool metal and right angles, is warm with the smell of apricots. You breathe it in while Sloane roots through a nearby cabinet before suddenly sighing. I'll say this now, sorry about the fit. She hands you an apron like her own, exactly like her own actually, in that it's far too big for you. It's bound to slow you down and make you look utterly ridiculous. Your one should be here tomorrow. I hope this is alright in the meantime. Sure, if anything, it's amusing. Could I skip the uniform if it's just for today? Oh, I don't have like a handy little face thing. Oh, I do have little notes though. Take the apron, you're here to play the part, aren't you? Don't take the apron, you're liable to trip over that thing. Well, I mean, I'd trip even if I wasn't wearing an oversized apron, so... Sure, if anything, it's amusing. Oh dear. Scuppered myself already. Great, how are you going to steal the recipe while wearing this? Thanks a million, Nim. Glad you're seeing an upside. Here's your name tag too. As you wrap yourself in the oversized apron and pin on your name tag, Sloane smiles. It's a small, sad smile that weighs down her whole face. Aww. Look, I'm sure not everything you've heard about this place has been grand, but once you put in a little elbow grease, she really shines, and I've got a lot of elbow grease. I just wanted to say that you wouldn't be here if I didn't think you had the same drive. Your application told me that much. I'm glad someone thinks so. Although, what was the phrase you used? Probable minion? I know these roles can be challenging, but I hope you didn't think we treat you like that. No, I literally just found that amusing. But at the end of the day, those are just words. Your experience was what really settled it. I mean, it must have been quite a privilege to work for... Sloane is cut short by a buzz from her phone. Saved by the bell? Ah, pastries! Why don't you pop into the office while I grab those? Fred, your manager, I should say, ought to be ready. Big grey door on your right. Best of luck. You take 6 steps towards the office, a hiss of heat escaping the oven behind you. Beyond lies Fred, the owner, the one from the newspaper, the one whose recipe you're here for. You ease the door open, but no one greets you. Your eyes are immediately drawn to the colossal metal safe that occupies a quarter of a room just a few steps away. You knew the recipe was protected, but not like this. The safe looks like it was taken from the set of a heist movie. It should be locking up gold bars instead of... what, a recipe for coffee? But as you run a hand across its surface, wondering just how you're going to crack it open, there's a rustle nearby. You snap upright with a bolt of unbidden adrenaline. Like a dragon emerging from its hoard, a tiny, gold-eyed tuxedo cat rouses from a pet bed on top of the safe. He blinks stickily, then suddenly glares at you, fur on end, eyes aglow. Yep, that's cats in a nutshell. Don't touch my... Could I just say stuff? I'm just gonna say stuff. But yeah, that is cats in a nutshell. And I like the lightning bolts coming from his eyes. He spits the words at you like darts, light crackling through his panicked eyes. The air in the room starts getting heavier, as if brewing into a thundercloud. Oh, magic kitty. Who sent you? If you think you're going to best me in my own domain, then... Wait, you're the new hire, aren't you? Quick as a power cut, the light in his eyes blinks out and the pressure lifts with it. The cat sighs, leaping smoothly from the safe to the desk. Sorry, that was unprofessional of me. I'm Fred. Welcome to the familiar. Good to have you on board. I have to say, as a writer, I really admire the, what do you call it? The, description in this. It's actually kind of cool. Most visual novels I've read haven't been this well written. Well, given the terrifying magic and the talking, he's not a cat. He's a demon bound to the form of a beast. A familiar, in other words. That's the last time I'm pulling an all-nighter on admin. You're lucky to still be young, human, because after the 1st century, things get... Sloane wanted you onboarded, right? We have one main rule. Do everything you can to show the economist types this place isn't a bad idea. More than fire safety drills, we need drive and spite. So that's what I expect from you. Are we clear? Did you expect I'd even be here today? Crystal clear, boss. Now, do I want to upset him or do I want to, make an ally out of him? Shall I blend in? Crystal clear, boss. That's what I like to hear. So long as we're all on the same page, you and I will get on just fine. Oh, good. We aren't a happy little family here. We're just hard workers. This isn't going to work if you aren't prepared to work just as hard as me and Sloane. As if on cue, Sloane enters the office, a kettle of boiling water in one hand and a packet of coffee in the other. She starts mixing the two in a mug on Fred's desk. Morning, Fred. Everything all right in here? Thought I heard a bit of shouting. Oh, no, it's all fine. I've just been giving, Fred quickly squints at your name tag. Giving Nim the lowdown of the familiar, our history, what we do, all the good stuff. Sloane gazes at Fred, tracing the tiredness in his eyes. Her smile dims a little. Sloane has the weight of the world on her shoulders, doesn't she? Oh, that's nice. I can join you now if you'd like. We can go over the finer details together. If you've got time, by all means. With firm movements, Sloane puts the kettle down and closes the door behind her. Fred's eyes lock onto your name tag again as he reads it under his breath. I like the squinty-eyed look he gets. So, Nim, let's get down to business. That sounds ominous. We're open 8 to 5 most days, but your shift goes 30 minutes longer at the end for closing. Anything after that is overtime. I can give you the forms. Aprons go on the hooks in the kitchen. If anything gets spilled on it, don't be afraid to excuse yourself and replace it as soon as you can. Am I getting more than one apron? Oh, and if you are going to excuse yourself... And on it goes. Sloane and Fred don't speak to you as two different people, but as two halves of one business. Efficient, organised, and trusting one another as best they can. That should be most of it. I'll be with you at the counter for your training, so don't hesitate to ask me any questions. She's cut off again by her phone. Oh, excuse me. Dave. Hey, yes, Sloane, just unloading the van out back, so there's your heads up. Thanks, Dave, I'll be right there. I should be off. Need to give my signature for the deliveries. Thanks again, Fred. Oh, Nim, before you join her, I'm sure you've heard about our recipe. Must be dying to learn what makes the familiar's coffee so irresistible. But it's not so much a set of instructions as it is, well, I won't get too arcane with you. It's more of a background thing, like the internet. You use that, right? Point being, even if you don't see it, it'll still be working its magic back here, in a drill-proof, bomb-proof 6 gauge... I obviously have no clue what makes a safe a safe. I think that's gouge, isn't it? 6 gauge... Gauge? Bomb-proof safe, which only me and Sloane can open. Considering the fact that it's supposed to be a secret recipe, why would he tell me about the secret recipe and the location of said secret recipe? Is it a catnip mouse or something? Also, I cursed it. Fair enough. So it's protected against teleport-based attacks too, of course. Oh, Sloane offered to show me the recipe earlier. I get it, you've got to protect what's yours. I figure this one... Well, yeah, it increases suspicion of Sloane, but I kinda like Sloane. She's got the weight of the world on her shoulders, and it seems mean to sort of create an opportunity for Fred to act suspiciously in front of others. These choices are so tough sometimes. I should have grabbed a dice so I could just roll it and go with the answers. Okay, I get it. You've got to protect what's yours, because it's true. And cursing a recipe just seems slightly overkill. It's probably wise to stay in Fred's good books, but at some point you'll need someone else to take the blame for your crime. I feel like I'm being scolded all of a sudden. Okay, I'll be meaner. This is fine. Exactly. All our livelihoods depend on that recipe. Its safety is our safety, so I protect it the way I protect anyone, with 1/2 centimeter of enchanted steel. He looks back at the veritable vault behind him as if checking that it's still there. Can never be too careful with these things, especially in this economy. I mean, wasn't it just last week that Raphael Hendricks wrote off his beauty store chain? It's inspirational how these CEOs act. Expanding isn't easy. I mean, ideally we'd have an accountant, a consultant, another chef, but we've got you, and you're one hell of a good start. Is that a backhanded compliment? especially with our regulars. You'll meet 'em soon enough. You should catch up with Sloane. Anything you need, I'll be back here going over these papers. As you leave the office, Fred pulls a single sheet of paper from the files on his desk. Even upside down, you recognize it as your CV. It's good to know the manager had no say in my employment. Not a moment after you enter the kitchen, someone waves at you from the back door. In the doorway next to Sloane is a uniformed courier, a human just as unremarkable as you. A precarious stack of cardboard boxes wobbles threateningly behind him. Say, you're Nim, aren't you? Sloane was just telling me about you. All good things, I promise. Mostly good. How did I manage to give a bad impression already? Dave gives Sloane a package and gives you a conspiratorial eyebrow waggle. He pauses to take a long breath inward through his nose. Ooh, is that apricot? So you did go for the new recipe. Fred must have taken some convincing. Oh, I'm just trying it out. We'll see how they sell first. Hey, if I come by once I'm off work, that's one customer right there, guaranteed. Sloane breaks away to put each package in its right place. Dave looks at you, eyes glistening. Hey Nim, have a good first day, yeah? Increase Dave's mood to give him a bright start to the day, I guess. Decrease Dave's mood to actually who cares, he'll be gone soon anyway. But he was polite. Why would I be rude to somebody who's been polite? Am I going to get scolded again? Thanks, I will. He might not be here for it, but if all goes well, today's going to be good. That's the spirit. Any more from me, Dave? Just a couple bigger things, but I'll grab those this time. Don't let me interrupt your induction. Are you sure I could carry... I'll catch you later for that pastry, yeah? Dave walks away whistling, his footsteps gradually going quiet in the alley. Nim, I am so sorry about Fred. I know he must have overslept today. That's on me. You notice her hands are balled into fists, one so tight that even the stone starts to buckle. I just wanted your first day to be easy, but oh well, let's get you behind the counter, shall we? There won't be time to take you through all the machines, so let's just fill the drip maker. I keep the house roast down here. She effortlessly pulls open a burlap sack of beans, scooping them into the grinder. As you pulverize them, the aroma of coffee fills your lungs like a cloud of bitter smoke. Today's been all over the shop, hasn't it? We should get a wee moment to breathe now. Only one customer comes in this early, and they don't do Mondays. I'll introduce you tomorrow. Sloane smiles, the stone wrinkling around her eyes, and it dawns on you. This is beginning to feel like a real job. Just as you finish that thought, the front door swings wide open and your first customer skips inside. You spot at least 4 shades of pink in their outfit. Pink fingernails, pink sun hat, lipstick, backpack. That dress must be bespoke too. Pricey. As they draw close though, you spot pointed fangs in their cheery smile and deep red eyes behind their tinted glasses. A vampire. Good morning, Sloane. Oh, I spoke too soon. Morning. Before you order, this is Nim, our new barrister. Ah, so you're finally upscaling. You know, I saw some prime real estate going for cheap on Moonbow, if expansion's on your mind. Slow down, we're not taking over the industry just yet. The vampire looks as if they have more to say, words bubbling just beneath the surface, but settles on a pout. Nim, I'm Jessie, with an IE. Jessie's eyes swivel to you with abundant curiosity. Your apron's so big, I'm more for tailored fits myself, but I know that baggy looks have been catching on lately. Draws focus to the wearer being separate from their clothes. Oh no, it's nothing like that, just a supply chain issue. What'll it be this time, Jessie? A hot chocolate, please, and I'll have it with, whipped cream, nutmeg, caramel, marshmallows. Wait, will that fit? Marshmallows, then whipped cream, then caramel, and the rest. Oh, but what if I got cookies too? Give me one with everything, and 2 chocolate chip cookies, please. Sloane's already off to one side, rifling through her arsenal of ingredients. Meanwhile, Jessie brandishes a pink bat-styled mug from their satchel. placing it on the counter as their eyes flick back to you. Even if Sloane and Fred aren't aiming for world domination yet, you're still on the front line of their expansion plans. They're investing a lot of trust in you. So tell me, do you feel like a good investment? How far are you willing to go to succeed? Well, it's just a job really, or I'd do anything. Now, since we're supposed to be here stealing a recipe, and we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the recipe, technically it'd be I'd do anything, right? So this one technically isn't a lie? I'd do anything. The vampire peers deep into your eyes, then nods as if confirming a suspicion they had. Good. So, Jessie, what brings you here on this lovely Monday morning? Are you trying out a new schedule? Oh no, much more exciting than that. I've got a meeting with the board after this, so I came here to prepare. It'll go much smoother with something sweet. Ah, for your infamous internship. How is your family treating you then? About as well as usual. Trust me, I'd much rather be here to help the familiar. But then Fred's just like everyone else. He sees my last name is Hendricks and thinks I'm some sorcerous corporate spy out to suck the proverbial blood from his business. Of course, the Hendrickses, rich, powerful, and, most troublingly for you, magically talented. Jessie looks at you, anticipating your judgment with a flat smile. You know, Fred did say he was looking for a consultant. He called your father cashing out on a failed business inspirational. Well, you're far too fashionable to be a spy. Did he say he was looking for a consultant? Really? Oh, but I don't have the time, but if it's just a few minutes. Okay, I'll show him a few proposals if I catch him. Thank you. Try not to let your family get you down, Jessie. You'll get your chance to prove yourself someday. Well, if all goes according to plan, that chance should come today, fingers crossed. Sloane passes Jessie's now full mug across the counter. By some miracle of physics, it hasn't spilled over yet. Maybe this was a bit ambitious, but if I use a cookie to scoop up the cream and let the marshmallows melt, I can finish it in 30 minutes? Ah, thank you, Sloane, and Nim. I'm not sure I did anything, but yay. Jessie swipes their card, then their mug, making a beeline for the booth seat before the payment even goes through. They assemble their workstation in mere seconds. A sheaf of papers, a stack of textbooks, and a predictably pink laptop. The mug stands vigilantly at a safe distance. Always wise, especially where books and laptops are concerned. Jessie was a surprise, but at least they're a nice one. I'm just grateful they didn't come in at the same time as... Before she can finish, the front door swings open and a siren rolls into the room. She's wearing a sleeveless orange turtleneck, a magnolia-covered jacket that's relaxing on her shoulders, and a perfectly photogenic smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes. Hello, the familiar. It's a perfect day for my long overdue review, don't you think? You'll have to forgive me. I came straight here from my morning swim. I must look a mess. She runs one hand through a river of glossy pale hair, parted by an immaculate side cut, and raises a smartphone with the other, flourishing it like a paper fan. Don't worry, Nim. I'll handle this. I'm going to read that as gasp. Jessie shrinks back, arranging their books into a makeshift wall. It seems to work. The siren glides over towards the counter, not noticing them at all. Now, Sloane, I know you very well, of course, but for the benefit of both me and my adoring fans, who is this? Oh, I didn't know you'd be coming. This is... But the siren's already staring at your name tag, trying to preempt Sloane's introduction. So that's how you spell Nim Enchanté. I may have butchered that, I'm sorry. I'm Alexandra. I have no idea how to say her last name. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. You don't happen to have a Grimoire account, do you, Nim? I'd love to give you proper credit in my post. How about a drink first, before anything goes onto that internet page of yours? Quite right, Sloane. I'm getting ahead of myself. Could I have... She clears her throat and straightens her back. A blue sea salt caramel frappe with soy milk and non-dairy whipped cream on top, plus a little of that raspberry chocolate powder you have would be lovely. Thank you so much. I should have everything. Let me check the back first. Nim, could you grab a plastic cup for that? Lids are in the bottom left cupboard. Wait, do you have any of those little fish cookie? She's gone. In the silence, Alexandra's smile slides off her face. She sighs sharply through her nose. Are you all right? I know this whole song and dance can be quite overwhelming if you aren't prepared, but then you don't know who I am anyway, do you? How is that going to increase her mood? I've never heard of you, sorry. Or can she tell when you're lying? Well, I mean, that's true, I have never heard of her. That would make sense. Thanks for getting it out of the way. I hope I made a good first impression, for whatever that's worth. Sloane returns, hands full of yet more ingredients. You hand her a cup and she starts filling it with dubiously blue syrup. Should I expect your fans to start ordering these frappes in the hundreds? I'm not sure they're on theme anymore. Is that how you say it, frappe? It has an accent on the E, so it's not fraps, is it? Because that sounds weird. I always get confused with words because it's like, some words I feel like I can say and then other words are just letters combined together, you know? Oh, I want... Case in point. Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. The drink's just to showcase how skilled you are at your craft. It's aesthetic. That's what the audience really wants. Alexandra plucks the card reader from the counter with a sly smile, passes her phone across it and hands it back with a wink. There's a 30% tip attached. Was nice of her. You know better than me about that social media stuff. Sloane, Nim, trust me, you've got a wonderful cozy place here. What's not to love? Those donuts, those menus. Alexandra turns around to gesture at the cafe, and her eyes finally land on Jessie. Her voice freezes in her throat. Jess? She turns into a bat. Eek! Oh no, Jessie. Hey Alex, I didn't know you were coming today. It was on my page. Perhaps I should have dropped you a message. Sorry. Do you... Ooh, a mystery. Sloane puts the finished frappe to one side, pushing past you to tend to the transformed Jessie. Alexandra squeaks a little closer to you. I'm sorry, Nim, truly. Drama's the last thing I'd want to bring into this establishment, or to Jessie. She plucks the frappe from the counter. You're not sure how anything that colour could taste any better than tolerable. I know when I'm not wanted. I'll just snap a few photos, then be on my merry way. The lighting's not ideal, but I can fix it in post. Feel free to dim the lights, the switch is right there. So Jessie really did know you were coming, but they seem so organised. I don't know what's going on between you two, but I'm sorry. I can see why it has replayability. It's tempting just to click them all. Feel free to dim the lights, the switch is right there. Oh, that is helpful, thank you, darling. I'll take a look once I've got the post drafted. With a final smile, Alexandra takes her drink to the cafe's centremost table, posing it like an art exhibit. Jessie, still a bat, keeps staring at her, but she doesn't look back. With an exhausted puff of smoke, Jessie returns to their original form and slumps into their seat, eyes wandering to the crescent moon bracelet on their wrist. Sloane returns after confirming they're okay. Sorry, I didn't think... Yeah, both of them at once can be a wee bit complicated. They're used to... She's cut off by the sound of a motorbike revving down outside, heralding the arrival of your third customer. It's very busy, considering today's supposed to be quiet. This person is a first, even for you. Someone whose body lacks everything but a skeleton. You don't know any kind of magic that can make that work. Skinless, fleshless, sigilless, although he does have hair, which you're pretty sure isn't a type of bone. A stiff, dark brown pompadour that props up a pair of sunglasses. I like his jacket. Grudge? Grudge, hey, how's it going? I feel like I've barely seen you since ArtCon. Okay, that was a little rude. He reaches the counter undeterred. You're waiting for Sloane to address him like the others, but she's just staring, locked in place. Ooh, more bad blood apparently. Humph. And suddenly he's sparkling. Okay. So you're the new barrister. Good job on making it this far. Makes you one of the best, don't it? Ain't just the coffee you brew, it's your resolve. Can we take your order? Yeah, resolve. Well, let me tell you, I know your type and I know you're up to something. I can feel it. Sloane, I would like to order, thank you kindly. I feel like he talks like a pirate. Let's put your new barrister to the test. I'll have a coffee. A black coffee. From the pot, doesn't have to be, yeah. I think we might, Sloane's eyes bounce between his skull and the coffee pot on the counter. Nim, why don't you handle this one? It'll be good for your training. Isn't black coffee like the easiest one you can make? I guess depending on the type of coffee. I obviously don't drink coffee. I prefer hot chocolate, not gonna lie. Or Earl Grey. Because, I'm British and we like tea. Seems like she isn't going to budge. You grab a cup and start pouring. Wait, what's her name? Nim? Okay, think I got it. Nim, so that's to be the name of my nemesis. I'm Grudge. Grudge Knuckles, and you'd best remember it. Even if Frederick gave you this job instead of me, there's bound to be cracks in your meticulous facade. I am here to steal a recipe, so there are probably loads of cracks. I'm also probably too friendly. Your coffee-making halts at this revelation. He had a whole rant prepared just because you got this job, with an application like that. You're making it obvious why they didn't pick you. You caught me. This is all a ruse. He is being a little rude, so that would make sense. But that one's funnier. You caught me. This is all a ruse. Heh, I knew it. But I can't just take my nemesis' word for it. Gonna need hard proof to know for certain. You present the now full cup to Grudge. He daintily drops in a sugar cube, then stirs the coffee with a bone-like spoon, which he apparently just had, loose, in one of his pockets. Yeah, why not? Heh, nice try, Nim, but I know coffee when I see it, so there's no way this... He puts it to his jawbone and takes a delicate sip. The liquid seems to vanish as soon as it enters his mouth. Damn it, it's just like usual. How'd she get it right so quick? So bitter, yet so energizing. Well, I'll be, Nim. Coffee's as bitter as your soul, just how it should be. But I'm still watching ya. He takes the cup and spins dramatically away from the counter. It's then that he finally spots Jessie, despite the fact that they said hi when he walked in. Okay. Jessie! Grudge! Or at least they seem happy. They immediately hug. It's so good to see ya. Why didn't you pipe up earlier? They did. I was waiting for you to finish. It sounded like you had a lot to get off your chest. Oh yeah, you heard that. Sorry, it was just a personal... doesn't matter. How's your job going? I could tell you, but I've not got long. Are you sure you don't want something with your coffee? Sloane's made some great cookies today, and I'd be happy to buy... Oh, no, shouldn't give my nemesis the satisfaction. Not after walking away all conclusively like I just did. Grudge, you haven't even paid yet, and I admire your candor, but are you sure Nim's your nemesis and not Fred? Fred's a real villain, that's true, but a nemesis? That's different. Gotta be personal. Where's the lie? But you don't know who Nim is yet. Maybe start with a rivalry as practice? A rival, eh? Having a lovely time at... No, I used lovely last time. They'll think that's insincere. What if I... Oh, almost forgot. Alex, how you doing? All good over there? Oh, Grudgy, I didn't see you come in. How have you been? Well, it's funny you're here, actually. There was something I wanted to... I knew these characters would be interesting. I'll, catch up with you later. You both seem busy, and I should pay. Grudge sheepishly returns to the counter. hands fishing through his jacket pockets for some loose coins. Well, I'm back. Got too caught in the whole confrontation to give you your money, even if most of it's going straight into Fred's pockets. Ugh. But I'll say this, I'm practically a coffee detective, and I'm detecting something odd about you. So long as I come here, I'm going to do my damnedest to figure out what. You think I'm suspicious? Wait till you see what Fred's up to. Is it just me, or is Alexandra trying to ignore you? Then catch me, detective. You think I'm suspicious? Wait till you see what Fred's up to. Just to make things more interesting, you know. Oh ho, is that a challenge, Nim? To my detective skills? Ha, I'll find out what he's doing one way or another. Hiding a secret recipe. It's cursed, apparently. Without another word, he perches on a stool by one of the cafe's front windows. Over his shoulder, Alexandra and Jessie swap looks of confused concern. Good job, Nim. Now would be a good moment to put his purchase into the register. As she's halfway through showing you how to work the cash register, you turn to see Fred jump up onto the counter next to you. How's it going out here? No need to panic. This isn't a performance review, just checking things are... He surveys the regulars in the cafe with no small amount of scorn. Humph. Sloane, why don't you come with me for a moment? Been meaning to have a chat. But we still need to... She looks forlornly at the pile of coins Grudge left. Even at a glance, you can tell it covers the price of a drink and then some. This might be your last chance to sow suspicions before you execute your plan. Better choose wisely. The till's out of paper notes. Could you grab some more? Is Grudge usually like that? I'll deal with this. Take 5, Sloane. I'll deal with this. Take 5, Sloane. Sloane nods, clearly grateful for this brief reprieve. I like the flowers. As silence returns to the room, so too does your opportunity. But you can't help but overhear Fred and Sloane's hushed conversation in the kitchen. I'm just saying, if our best regulars keep bringing their drama here, no one else is going to want to stay. I have to admit, it does get very awkward sometimes. I mean, the mystery between Alexandra and Jessie is very awkward, actually. It's an interesting one, probably none of my business, but very awkward. With a sigh, Sloane leans against the kitchen island. The full weight of this morning's event seemed to suddenly sit on her shoulders. Oh, you can't give her more weight on her shoulders. They're good, reliable customers, and sure, things have been tricky, but we've got Nim now. With a little hard work, we can turn this around. Besides, aren't there enough names on your board of bands already? Let's not add any more while we're going through a rough patch. She side-eyes a corkboard near the walk-in fridge. There must be at least 24 names on there, each marked with a reason for ban in vindictive felt tip. As she does, you notice Grudge sidling up to the counter, trying subtly to peer inside the kitchen. I know, you're right. It's just, we don't exactly have a recipe for success here, do we? I did want to talk about our recipe, actually. You know, since we've got a new hire, and... Can we just deal with one thing at a time? First priority is cutting down costs. Now, I noticed the price of algae extract for that blue drink got hiked up, and I figured... Fred's eyes finally land on the still snooping Grudge. The two freeze before Grudge slowly backs away. Oop, busted. Gotta go. Aren't content making trouble for me from afar, huh? Go away! Oops. I may have got Grudge in trouble. Who was that? 3 guesses. If that punk wants trouble, I'll give it to him. Wait here, Sloane. Oh dear. I think, Pear's going to fly. What are you doing now? Fred... A sudden knock on the back door stops her from following after Fred. Oh, Dave's back. Let's deal with that first, one thing at a time. As Fred prowls out of the kitchen, Grudge turns to you with what you think is a curious expression. You might not have noticed. But I just saw what Fred was up to in perfect stealth. Let's just say I'll keep my sockets peeled. Nice sunglasses. Fred stalks Grudge like prey as he leaves the kitchen, jumping onto a nearby table and muttering to himself. He's floating several inches above the table. Our regulars, it's gonna be a long climb from here to anything stable. While Fred's presence draws a little attention, you start rifling through your bag, making sure you can take any opportunity to launch the heist. Fred's ruminations are cut short by Jessie, who approaches him with a thick stack of papers. Hello, Frederick. Rumour is you're expanding the familiar. Very exciting. I'd love to get on board, and I've had thoughts on how to optimise drink prices. Oh, Jezebel, that's kind of you. But we're taking expansion slow and steady. You know the pitfalls we could fall into pretty well, don't you? I just think there's a lot I can offer the familiar. Sloane can vouch for my contract writing work. The familiar deserves all the help it can get. I feel like I've created chaos. It'll be fine, probably. At this point, Grudge takes notice of this conversation, silently shaking his head. Look, Jezebel, if you've already got contracts for me to sign, you've got the wrong idea about working with me. Thought you would have learned that after last time. Ah, I see. Maybe later then. Jessie gives Fred a nod and walks away, conceding his point. Grudge immediately moves to reassure them, skeletal hand to shoulder. What's he doing out here? It looks like he's just contemplating. What? Whether he should kick me out for good this time? I don't know. Right, who's messing with the lights? You turn to spot Alexandra fiddling with the dimmer switch that you pointed out earlier. Oh, I'm sorry. Just trying to make the photos look nicer. Didn't realize it'd be so sensitive. I'll put it back now. She tries to turn the knob back, but the lights don't stop flickering. I've created chaos. Alexandra, I've got bigger things to worry about than photographs right now. Could you leave me in peace for just a moment, and don't call me Freddy ever again? Bigger things than catering to your own customers? This is why we're your only regulars. We're the only ones patient enough. Grudge, maybe don't. Not another fight. I was kind of thinking this cafe is kind of nice and cozy and calm, and apparently it isn't. Awkward silences again. It's then that Sloane joins you in the main room, dusting her hands clean from Dave's latest packages. Finally, Fred, are you doing all right? Sloane stands still at the sight of Grudge and Fred stare down. She gazes into his hollow sockets. As she registers the flickering lights and the sheepish Alexandra near the switch, her face falls. Oh no, the electrics aren't good, Alexandra. Let me deal with that. Alexandra, with no small amount of embarrassment, watches Sloane open the light switch to attempt some hasty repairs. Could everyone just give me 5 seconds of peace? 5 seconds. That's all I'm asking for. Very reasonable. This cat has a temper. No. We've got a new hire today, and if this is the impression we're giving her, we'll be doing her a disservice. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a new hire to attend to, without any more interruptions. He's still floating several inches above the table. As Fred starts to turn around, you scramble for your bag, knowing you have mere milliseconds to execute your plan. How fortunate, then, that you sowed a little more chaos in advance. Because it's this precise moment when Grudge chooses to fire his parting shot. I know you're hiding something, Fred. What are you talking about? Jessie looks down at their stack of papers, gloom gathering on their brow. So you're not even going to look at my proposals? If you want to talk, Jezebel, we'll do it later. Just then, the lights turn off completely. Whether a result of Alexandra's meddling or Sloane's attempt to undo it, you aren't going to waste time wondering. You've done enough to distract everyone. You're not going to get a better chance than right now. You reach into your bag and, in an instant, all the light and sound is sucked from the room. The sounds of panic are quickly quelled by the magic now pulsing from your cozy sleep-tight blackout blanket. I feel like that should have a TM after it. Even in the silent darkness, you won't have long before everyone gets a sense of their surroundings. but you've been over this plan too many times to fail now. Having said that, you're still wearing a very large apron, which could be an impediment to said plan. What to do? Taking it off might be suspicious, but keeping it on might doom me to failure. Although I'm probably doomed to fail anyway. Take it off, I suppose. Deciding to remove any chance of tripping in total darkness, you scramble to untie the apron before taking your first steps. Step 1. Take 3 steps into the kitchen, then 6 to the right. You pull for the door handle and slip into the office, thankful that there wasn't an apron to stop you. Oh, that's interesting. I did actually think it was strange that there was a focus on how many steps we took to the office door. That was very subtle, I like that. Step 2. 1, 2, 3 steps and you feel the cool surface of the safe against your fingers. Step 3. Reach into your bag and give your can of Curse Be Gone a shake. Convenient. A few sprays on the safe and the wards are already flaking off. That seems too easy. But there's something else. A sound cutting through the silence. Fred's casting a counterspell. You don't have long. Step 4. Spin the wheel and heave the safe door open. Feel around inside until... You've done it. Against all odds, you've managed to pull off the heist. And did a decent job of it too. Your shaking, outstretched hands grab the cafe's secret recipe before stuffing it into the tiny pocket dimension of your teleportable R lunchbox. But at this crucial moment, you can't help but think of the other people in the cafe and who, if anyone, you should try to pin this on. You exhale, but the sound is too clear. Fred's counterspell is taking hold. Even if you put all your weight on the safe door, you wouldn't have time to close it properly. The best you can do is return as quickly and quietly as you can. As you take careful steps back to the counter, you try your best to control your breathing, to not let the exhilaration show. It's been so long. But as you desperately shove your apron back on and the darkness finally dissipates, you know you're not safe yet. You've got to find an exit in the ensuing chaos without arousing suspicion, somehow. As the silent darkness lifts from the cafe, the first thing you see is Fred bounding through the kitchen, crashing through the cat flap to the office. Is everyone okay in here? No one's hurt? Sloane catches you just as you get the apron over your head, stopping in pure bewilderment. Are you alright, Nim? Oops. Okay, I know how this looks. That's the last time I handle the lights, but I don't think blackouts usually come with spontaneous hearing loss. No, that's probably true. Although sometimes I feel like everything breaks when I touch it, so I mean, it is possible. It is possible with light and sound enhancements. These glitches can happen, but it's rare they're as dramatic as that. Jesse, we don't have any enchantments like that. This wasn't planned. Huh. Fred's plot must be even trickier than I thought. Where'd he go anyhow? I like the cat print painting in the corner over here. That's adorable. What a nice touch. I didn't notice that earlier. And the yarn balls. I wonder if he secretly chases them or crochets or something. Before anyone can move, Fred rushes back into the room. Nobody leaves. The lightning again. His eyes crackle gold and the chains of light fly across the cafe. The front door, the windows, the back door, no exits are spared. We can do this the easy way or the hard way, understand? And if you aren't going to turn yourself in, I'll just root you out myself. What? I'm sorry, but whatever just happened is your business. I'm not missing my meeting. I'm sure you have a plan, Frederick, but is it really necessary to, trap us inside your lovely cafe? If you wanted us to stay, you didn't have to do that. And what are you accusing us? I feel like his accent changes every time I read it. And what are you accusing us of, exactly? Sitting perfectly still while your lights went weird? Fred, what's going on? While the lights were out, someone went into my office and somehow opened the safe, which means one of the people in this room has stolen our secret recipe. It's as if the whole room flinches. Suddenly everyone's looking at everyone else, wide-eyed, searching their faces for the slightest trace of an answer. People's gazes dart around the room, not settling on anyone for long. Seems that's the price for not pitting them against each other. Yes, but now everybody's uncertain of everyone. The only one who seems to consider you for more than a second is Sloane, who looks at your apron with narrowed eyes. Oops. But that means... no. This is fine. We can deal with it. It's alright. As unfortunate as this is, I do have a meeting to attend, and I'd rather not get caught up in this. Ha, good luck getting past my magic. I might only be a familiar, but I promise if you try to leave, you'll regret it. Jessie's eyes flicker across Fred's barrier, prying for any weaknesses in the spellcraft. Frederick, please. I understand that you're stressed, but it will be easier to figure this out if we aren't in a locked room, won't it? Yeah, and why would it only be one of us who stole your recipe? What if it's all of us working to take you down? They look so horrified. We don't have to act like vigilantes. I'll just call the police and... Enough. Enough. This place is sealed and nobody leaves till we find our thief. Thief singular, Grudge, because if it was any more, you might have actually succeeded. That was a tad rude. As for the ACPD, Sloane, fine, I'll call them. I'm betting they'll take their sweet taxpayer-funded time getting here, then label this as unsolvable. But I'm not risking anyone making a break for it in the meantime, so we're going to sit here like adults and get our facts straight, understand? Now, did anyone notice anybody acting strange? Anything suspicious at all? Might get this over with faster if you fess up now. The room exchanges uncomfortable glances before someone pipes up. You know what? Let's address this now. Would you mind telling us why you were spying on us in the kitchen, Grudge? He was? Ooh. My chaos has, saved me, probably? Grudge frowns at you before replying. Oops. Well, clearly my suspicions were well-founded, weren't they? Not like I overheard nothing important anyhow. I was the one who stopped Alexandra from messing around with the lights. Maybe she short-circuited the electrics by accident. And what? That was the prelude to this? Just a fun little hint? You can't be serious. Nib suggested it, so I thought it to be fine. This might actually backfire on me quite spectacularly. Jess, I didn't think you wanted to get in with Fred after all the shouting matches we had. You wanted access to the heart of his business, metaphorically speaking. You really could have phrased that better, Grudgy. That's got nothing to do with this. I just got the impression that he needed more staff. Hey, if you wanted to steal from Fred, I'd support you. Well, great start, everybody. At this rate, we'll have our recipe back within the next 1,000 years. There's no use trusting anyone here, is there? I know how these stories go. You've all got some kind of motive. Jessie, the heir to a powerful family with something to prove. There's always one. I'm not an heir to anything. I'm the youngest of 5. Alexandra, our femme fatale. Although she hasn't killed anyone, probably. If it weren't from you, I'd take that as a compliment. Grudge, the obvious suspect. Too obvious even, but I'm not ruling anything out yet. So what, that makes you the hero detective? You don't even have a plucky sidekick, or a hat. Sloane, the one you'd least expect. Oh, that's good, I think. But Fred, you can't really be saying that I... Which brings us to our final suspect, Nim. Your breath can't help but flutter as everyone's eyes suddenly turn on you. The red herring. I should have given myself red hair. I mean, it obviously wasn't you. You're human, got no magic, worked hard to get this job. You're in the clear. A cursory glance round the room tells you that not everyone believes him. I think I may have sown seeds of contention between too many people. If they start talking to each other, they'll figure that one out. So that's why she is going to find out who really did this, and everyone's going to be very polite and answer all her questions. What? Wait, my nemesis is the detective? All the more reason to keep an eye on her. Got to make sure that justice is carried out. Fred, why would you choose Nim over me? It's been 6 years. Do you still not trust me? That seems awfully convenient for both Nim and Frederick, but could we just stay calm and not keep shouting all the time? I can't keep spending my time with people who'd waste it on my behalf. Don't try to stop me when I leave. I'm with you there, Jess, though I wouldn't mind knowing who really did it. Fred, I know you're panicking right now, but we shouldn't do anything rash. These are our customers, and this is Nim's first day. Why would we... Her rising voice is broken by a ringtone. She stops with a flinch, putting the call on speaker. Hey, Dave. Hey, Sloane. Got my very last packages out back, but there's these gold chains on the door. Think it's stuck. You okay in there? Yes, I'm fine. We're just dealing with a burglary. I'll give you the details in a second. At the door. Oh, one of those days, huh? Is Nim alright, at least? Good question. Fred's just asked her to interrogate us. Look, I know it's unorthodox, but we all need that recipe. This is our best option for the cafe. For the cafe? I always knew you hated your customers, but this just confirms it. No grudge, just you. Can we please not fight already? We're not going to solve whatever this is by shouting. Yeah, it's getting a bit loud over the speaker. Nim, what do you actually want to do? Oh no, you can't please everyone. No, that is true. If I'm getting paid either way, I might as well. Let's all calm down, we're on the same side. I don't know, this is a pretty bad first day. To be fair, that's my own fault, so... We're on the same side kinda seems like a lie. And I feel bad for sowing so much contention between everyone. Especially since they were already, half in chaos already. Let's all calm down, we're on the same side. Oops, I made the boss angry. Oh, and those two. Are we? I'm not sticking around to watch this petty theft get solved. Petty? Yeah, like hell we're on the same side. Everyone's a suspect. Even so, I agree that we shouldn't start with this antagonism. I'm sure we can sort everything out with a little decorum. And hey, if we are on the same side, I can help Nim solve the case. Look, are we doing this or not, Nim? No matter how strange Fred's idea might be, it could put you in a better position until you can make your getaway. Time to lean on the scapegoat part of your plan. I don't have one of those. So as he starts bounding into the kitchen, you shrug and go along with him. Sloane finishes her call with Dave before following with heavy footsteps. Silence takes the space you leave behind. Do you want to talk about any of that? Just relax for a minute, Sloane. I'm gonna check for clues in my office. Nim, join me in a minute. Clues? I didn't hire a detective, but here we are. If there's anything I can do to help, please just ask. I feel like I've given her way more weight on her shoulders. Oh, me too. Not sure of as much I can offer besides moral support, but, thought I'd say. Can't leave till the delivery's done, is all. Oh, I've also ruined his day. Thanks, Dave. I think we could use the support while this gets sorted. Well, it'll get awkward if I'm just looking in, won't it? I'll leave you be then. Anything you need, just shout into the alley. Best not keep Fred waiting. Maybe you'll be able to reason with him, calm him down a bit. I think he could use that right now. You oblige her and enter the office, finding Fred in the middle of a phone call. Yeah, a theft. Lock down the whole building. Makes your job a whole lot easier, doesn't it? A locked room scenario is a little intriguing, I suppose. The person on the phone. You know that voice. Thin and sharp as wire, digging into you just as deep. But where? But if it isn't urgent... That's not what I said, N. You're not exactly getting picked off one by one. I'll be happy to be there at the earliest convenience. Our department is very busy otherwise. You'll solve it by yourself, really. You shouldn't expect miracles. We are just mortal, Oh, excuse me. Mostly mortal. These two don't like each other much, do they? A self-satisfied laugh crackles through the receiver. It bounces off the back of your skull, ringing like tinnitus. If you show your face in my business, I'll see you later, familiar. Bah, why did I expect anything else? After dialing all those tiny keys, too. Ah, Nim, here already. As you've probably heard, the ACPD is taking its sweet time, big surprise. But we don't need 'em. We'll do the real work. Plan is, you find our prime suspect before the ponies get here and mess everything up. You can do that, right? It's 1 in 4, logical deduction. Fred sneaks a not-so-subtle glance at your CV across the desk. Should be easy for a forthright learner like yourself, who also likes to destroy her enemies. I wonder when that bit's gonna pop up. Forthright, what does that mean in this context? Nobody writes these like a normal person. No, that's true. Oh, that's when it came up. Oh, and you like destroying your enemies. That's exactly what we want. Destroying our foes is one of the familiar's core values. Excellent. Right, let's put those soft skills of yours to use. Imagine I'm one of the suspects. What would you ask me? Good question. Hey, do you have a recipe? You did it, didn't you? Just confess. If you admit it now, we promise we won't be mad. I feel like none of these questions are going to satisfy him. Well, say something. Not helpful. If you admit it now, we promise we won't be mad. But we will be mad. I'm already mad. He stops to breathe out as much tension as he can manage. What we need is evidence, eyewitness accounts, motives, that sort of thing. Stuff like, what were you doing when the lights went out? Or, how do you feel about the familiar? Or, what's your relationship with Fred? If that's what he wants while you're trapped here, that's exactly what he'll get. If you find us a prime suspect with a convincing case, something thoroughly investigated, we can put things back to normal. Things are going to get complicated once he shows up too, so I'd appreciate having someone on my side when that happens. I know how this sounds, it's a dumb idea, but it's the best I've got right now, and if we don't do something, this place is going under. I like this place. All our livelihoods are at stake here, so get out there and catch us a thief. Please. Your plan went off without a hitch until it didn't, but the boss doesn't suspect you, at least not yet. Well, that's good, I suppose, but I also don't want to ruin this business. And if a real detective from the ACPD is coming, no doubt they'll find out you're the thief. That is, unless you have a convincing scapegoat. With evidence of a motive and the others on your side, you might be able to clock off at the end of a day without handcuffs. Until that happens, Fred's magic will keep you trapped here. So with that, your investigation begins, not to find who did it, but to find the perfect person to blame. This might be a tough one. To be continued? It's a cliffhanger. I was just getting into it. That's actually cool. I really like that. Going into this, I'll admit I was a little trepidatious. Everything I've seen about this game was intriguing, and I was a little worried that despite all the praise, it wouldn't quite measure up to expectations. I'm very relieved to say Spill the Beans didn't only meet my expectations, it surpassed them. The art style alone is beautiful, but as a writer, it's the writing and character development that really shines for me. Most visual novels I've read in the past, admittedly I haven't read many of them, they haven't been nearly as well written. The description and careful attention to detail are things I aspire to in my own work. And the characters. I was almost certain that there would be at least one character I could pin this crime on, but the truth is, they're all incredibly fascinating. They have intriguing and unique voices, and I can't wait to learn more about them all, and learn why there's so much tension between all of them. I'm torn between wanting the full release to be out already, and wanting the developers to take their time. This might only be the demo, but it's already a fascinating game, and it's got loads of potential. I'm also looking forward to replaying the demo, even with how short it is. I really want to see how much chaos I can cause between all the characters. That's the end of the Spill the Beans demo though. If you enjoyed it as much as I did, remember to check it out on Steam. The demo is officially releasing on the 10th of June, which is this Monday I believe. If you do try it yourself, please come back and let me know your thoughts. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye!